Hey there, this is a video on how to do your black key pentascales. So like I covered in the last video on the white key pentascales, a pentascale is just a 5-note scale that fits easily into a 5-finger hand position. Just like in the last video, I'm just going to cover the major scales because for minors, all I have to do is lower the 3rd finger in whatever hand you're playing with, or both hands. So there are kind of 2 different ways that I approach for learning the black key pentascales, and different approaches work for different learners. One way is you can just use the pattern of whole steps and half steps. So every major pentascale is going to have the exact same distances between the notes. It goes whole, whole, half, whole, and that describes the distance between 2 notes. So for example, if I start on C, which is the first note everybody learns, we have a whole step between C and D, a whole step between E and D, or D and E, a half step between E and F, and a whole step between F and G. Whole, whole, half, whole. Try to think of it as like this, like the space in between the notes. Whole, whole, half, whole. We can use that same pattern to figure out then any of the black key ones. So whole step between D flat and E flat, a whole step between E flat and F, a half step between F and G flat, and a whole step between G flat and A flat. Whole, whole, half, whole. And I get my D flat major pentascale. Another way that students often like to use is by using inverse colors. So, for example, D major has all white keys except for my 3rd finger, which is on a black key. It's on F sharp. If I invert those colors and bring things down a half a step, I get everything on black keys except now my 3rd finger is on a white key. The only tricky part with this is you have to know which white key to play, but you just practice them and you'll get it pretty easily. So that's another way you can do it. You invert the colors. Now the important thing is that you use the right name for the scale. If you call this a C sharp major scale, you will not get the color inversion because C is all white keys and C sharp major is 4 black keys only and 1 white key. So we use these names: D flat major, E flat major, F sharp major, A flat major, and B flat major. It's important to memorize those names, not just because it makes it easy to figure out that color inversion trick, but also because those are more common keys for those starting pitches, for the major keys at least. F sharp is the only one where sometimes we have F sharp, sometimes we have G flat, but for right now, memorize it as F sharp major. So those are some tricks to figure them out. After that, you're just going to want to memorize them. You can memorize them kind of in similar ways that we did with the white key ones. So D flat major and A flat major, just like D and A were pairs, D flat and A flat are a pair because they both have all black keys and 3rd finger on a white key. Here's D flat, and here's A flat. And same thing for the left hand. E flat is not that similar to F sharp. Like last time we paired those together, but they don't really work like that as well. E flat has 2 white keys. F sharp has 4 black keys plus your 4th finger is on B over here. And B flat, just like B major was one of the weird ones, B flat major is also weird. B and B flat are the only ones where your bottom finger and top finger are going to be on opposite colors. That's a really easy way to remember them. B flat is also weird in that it's a black key pentascale, meaning we start on but it doesn't have that many black keys. It only has 2. So you practice these the same way that you practice the white key ones, with a little triad at the end, etc. So I'll review 2 different ways you can remember. Whole, whole, half, whole is a way to figure them out. And then using the color inversions. D major and D flat major have opposite colors from each other. After you get them though, I'd highly recommend you just memorize them. It's really a pain to try to do this every single time. I gotta go down a half a step. That takes too long. So just memorize them. And then always play those triads at the end, because then you're going to get extra practice on something. And again, if you want to make a minor, you just lower your 3rd finger. So there's C sharp minor. I know, we called it D flat major and C sharp minor. That's for a different time, about why we changed the name. but that's the easiest way that I think of to learn those black key pentascales. So once you get all of them, then you can practice. Or the classic choir teacher. Where you go up by a half step on the triad plane. I'm going to do one more video. This will show you how to do your cadences at the end of a pentascale. So I'll see you there.